I bought 3 new weekly paying dividend ETFs just for this update. So I now have RDTY, QDTY, and CHPY. CHPY is still pending, but the other ones have already been purchased, and we should hopefully get some dividends for them by the end of next week. We have so many of these weekly payers now. I'm really going to move through very, very quickly and showcase all of them and how they are performing. If you guys are new to the channel, I put $100 into each of the weekly payers to track their progress, their dividends, and their overall price returns, which I will show in our tracking spreadsheet at the end of this video breakdown. Super, super important, so don't forget to watch till the end so you see which ones are actually making people the most money. Now, there's a lot going on in this account. We're going to go over all the little details, so I hope you guys enjoy. And if you do like investing, dividends, making money in the stock market, you are in the right place. Don't forget to like the video and to subscribe so you never miss an update. All that being said, let's roll the intro. The full account update doesn't have much to say. We now have $75 negative in cash because money is being transferred into the account. So once that gets figured out, we should be all set. But we're going to start off with our worst performer. So far, it actually is bouncing back ever so slightly, but not maintaining, unfortunately. We have ticker IWMY. So we are down 31%. It hasn't done much since last week. It's about the same, even bouncing back up a little bit, but the dividend has been pretty good. Last week, they had a really phenomenal dividend. All of the Defiance ETFs did. And so today, we're still sitting at $100 AUM, assets under management, and a dividend yield of 111%. This continues to climb as the price keeps falling. But had you bought in the $22.50 range, you could actually be green on this ETF. It is bouncing back, and I really want it to continue that trend. So we're going to look at the last couple of distributions. We had 31 cents, we had 28 cents, we had 33 cents, and then we had 33, almost 34 cents again for not a record-breaking dividend, but a very, very high dividend. We have not seen one this high in a very long time. Hey, maybe it is a record breaker. We'll see when we get to that dividend tracking spreadsheet. But I'm very happy that Defiance is rebounding, and I hope QQQY, the next weekly payer on our list, can do the same. Down over 28.7%, which is definitely rough, but it's looking a little bit better as well. A little bit of price coming back up, which we really need from the Defiance ETFs. We really need them to bounce back substantially to make it worth holding. And I think a lot of people have sold out of these. I did see a comment on my last video saying they are going monthly, which I did see that in their prospectus as well. Now, what I don't understand about the prospectus is it's from a few months ago. I think it's from January. And so I don't know if they're just taking the time to enact that. I don't know how the SEC processes it, if they have to approve it again. I don't know. So if it is going back to monthly, I will be selling it out of this account and just holding the cash, and then we'll continue to see how the rest of everything trades. But let me know what you guys, if you've heard anything about that, let me know down below. We can see AUM of 131 million and a dividend yield of 92.5%. So if you're curious, these dividends, they've been kicking out some pretty high dividends lately, or distributions, because it is an ETF technically. But what's happening is the yield keeps going higher because the price keeps going lower, because it's an inverted relationship. Because the cheaper it is, the higher the yield is, because they're still paying out roughly the same amount of money. Now, with this market, with everything going on, which I'm curious, what do you guys think of this market? I've been green the last couple of weeks. Are you guys in the green? Are we buying? Are we not buying? I'm a little bit worried we're looking at a dead cat bounce. And I'm not a huge chart reading guy, but the dead cat bounce is typically a really good period of time after a pretty steep drop, followed by another steep drop. So the chart will go up. You'll see a little bit of a drop. No, it'll go down. You'll see a little bit of a bounce back up, and then it drops even more substantially. We saw it a lot in the past, so I'm a little nervous about that. But let me know what you guys are doing. Are you buying? Are you holding? I'm really curious. And so, I mean, the QQQY, it's not looking too bad. It's come up a little bit. Last couple of distributions, 27.5 cents per share, 25 cents. 30 cents and 30 cents again. So the distributions have been phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. I did get a comment on the last weekly update video that these are going back to monthly. I only saw it on for IWMY and QQQY, but I believe all three, including WDTE, are going monthly. Now, here's what I don't know. It's from a prospectus from January, and I don't know how long it takes them to, I don't really make that work. Are they converting it initially? Are they waiting? I don't know if the SEC has to approve it, and that's the delay. If you know anything about that information, or if you know if these are going back to monthly, let me know in the comments down below, please. I've seen some things on Twitter, but I'm still just a little bit fuzzy on it, so I'd really appreciate that. let's go to the best performer from Defiance, one of my absolute favorites in this account, ticker WDTE. I really hope this one does stay weekly because it is one of the better performers, which a lot of people have said Defiance, they're not interested in it, but if you are interested in one, WDTE for the weeklies is definitely phenomenal. We can see it is down 24%. And when we go to the chart, I mean, it's ugly. It's fallen from 46 all the way to 32.5 now, but it was even lower at 31. We can see also AUM is 62 million. It's smaller than the rest by quite a bit, and the dividend yield is smaller as well at 60%. So what that trade-off means is because the yield is lower, you're getting a little bit better price upkeep, meaning it's not falling as much. We're not seeing as much NAV erosion, but still some, which is hard to stomach. The last couple of distributions, 31 cents, we had 28.5 cents, we had 35 cents, a huge dividend last week, and 35 again, 35 exact, which is interesting. Huge dividends coming out. The volatility in the market must be pushing these distributions higher because it's absolutely nuts how much money these are making. RDTE down 28%. Needs to bounce back. Let's see how it's been doing. We see a little bit of bounce back, not bad by any means, but the overall chart is pretty ugly. You can see my buy way up here and all the way down here is where it's struggling. AUM of 117.5 million, pretty large, and a dividend yield of 28%, but it has not been trading for the full year, so we are still missing out on some of those dividends that should kick that yield way up into the high 40s, if not 50s. This isn't my favorite. I will say I was really hopeful for it because I thought that the dividends would be absolutely massive because it's on the Russell 2000, which typically has more volatility than the NASDAQ or the S&P 500. But so far, all the dividends it's paid out, even though they have been high, it's been counteracted by the price dropping, which I hate to see. Hate to see it. Now, we can see last couple of dividends. We had 32 cents, we had 25 cents, 23.5 cents, and now 31 cents, which is a huge jump, and I like to see it. I like to see the big dividends, especially when we see the price coming back up as well. So let's check into one of our largest funds, QDTE. Slowly bouncing back. I will say we're only down just under 25%, and wow, this one's had so many dividends. It's crazy, but bouncing back. We have an AUM of 681 million. I think it's one of the largest in the account. We will see how it compares to YieldMax, which is the second largest, or usually the first, actually. And we have a dividend yield of 49%. Very solid. Last couple of distributions, 25 cents, 18 cents, 21 cents, and now 24 cents. So not a rocket high dividend. Pretty high for what we've seen recently, but overall, pretty solid. Not super bummed, not super happy. We need QDTE to bounce back. This one was supposed to perform better than the rest, and it has been good, but it's not the top performer. So I do want to see it bounce back a little bit more, and I do own this one and a few others of these in my Roth. So I'm actively invested in these, which maybe makes me a little bit biased, but you know, I'll do my best to keep it hidden. So QDTE. RoundHill, work on it. Let's get it going. Let's get this market flipped around so we can make some more money. But until then, I'm happy with the distributions and with dollar cost averaging on these. The ongoing battle between QDTE and XDTE about which will perform better. We can see that XDTE has a better return by about, what, 7%, 8%? It's just down 19%. A little bit under so far. It's supposed to hold up better. So here's your trade-off. Same thing with WDTE compared to IWMY. XDTE pays less in dividends, but has better price return, aka less NAV erosion, versus QDTE, higher dividends, more NAV erosion, or just overall market fluctuation, which is making it drop. So XDTE is also a bit smaller, $356 million in AUM, and a yield of only 32.5%, which that yield is up to date because it's been trading for over a year now, which is crazy to think about. Absolutely insane. Now, last couple of distributions, there was some crazy buying a couple weeks ago. Good to see. But last couple of distributions, we can see it was 27.5 cents, then it was 21.5 cents, and then 23.5 cents, and now we're at 34.3 cents. Absolutely insane jump in the dividends. I don't know what happened. I don't know. I know we had a mix-up last week with the dividends. The video was out a couple days later because of Easter. And Good Friday. So that did shift the schedule a little bit, and we had some crazy dividends from Defiance last week. Now we're having some crazy ones from RoundHill this week. All in all, I am excited. The market's flipping a little bit. Let's see if it can keep up the momentum. Tried and true, we have to talk about ticker WEEK. A lot of you guys are saying this one's not even worth holding, and I'm not going to disagree with you. I like it for what it is. It's a T-bill ETF. AKA, you are getting 4% on your money every single year, which is solid. It doesn't have too high of an expense fee, so If you want 4% a year consistently, there you go. The price should not be fluctuating a lot. It doesn't seem to be, but it is lower at only 7 million AUM, but it is up from 6 million last week, which is quite the climb. We have a dividend yield, again, it's 4% flat for the year, not per the week, not for the month, for the year. So it's a little bit worse performing on yield-wise, but overall, the price has been very consistent, which is not something we can say for any of the other weekly paying dividend ETFs. YBTC has been one of the better performers in the account, and with Bitcoin going back up, there's a lot of potential here. We can see that it is down 11.6%. Not great, but the bounce back has some crazy potential. AUM is 173 million, and the dividend yield is 48%. Nothing to frown at. That's pretty good. Market's been a little bit all over the place, a little bit more selling than buying, which surprises me. But, you know, we'll see. We'll see how it performs. We can also see the last couple of dividends. We had 28 cents, then we had 31 cents, and then we had 44 cents, a massive dividend. Let's see how this week's was. Boom, 44 cents again, 44 and a half, even better than last week with Bitcoin rising once again. Love to see it. Absolutely crazy. Love the good dividends and the consistency with YBTC. I will say out of all the weekly payers, I know since converting to weekly, it's been rough because Bitcoin has dropped substantially since what? When even was this? December? Yeah, it went up a little bit and then dropped. This one has a lot of potential in my opinion. So let me know what you guys think about YBTC in the comments. So we already have our new ETFs in the account, and I will tell you, I've already mixed up the names a couple of times. RDTY is already up 1.42%. I guess it had a good after hours trade. It's not going to show that on the spreadsheet because it doesn't track the after hours. But then we also have QDTY that is flat even, hasn't traded up or down since. Now, SDTY I bought a little while ago. It is down 13.6%. Chart's a little ugly. It's bouncing back. Not a lot to report on here. AUM of 11.4 million and a dividend yield of, I don't even know what it's going to be, probably roughly around the 30 to 40% mark. Last couple of distributions, 27 cents, 22, almost 23 cents, 31 cents, and 30 cents. So again, another big dividend coming out from a lot of these, which I hope is a pattern we continue to see as we go through our YieldMax ETFs. Really, really hoping we see some rebounds from a lot of these. LFGY is making quite the return. It was down well over 35%, and now it is only down 29.75%. I mean, is it time to buy in? I don't know. I don't know how these are going to perform in the long run. I'm genuinely curious. If you don't know, YieldMax has a bunch of different categories for their ETFs, and we haven't seen a lot of these trade for long. I mean, it's been a couple weeks to months. CHPY is another one in this category. CHPY, LFGY, GPTY are all from the same category. Now, we can see it is up to 81.75 million in assets under management, which is pretty large. You know, a lot of the new ones, the 0DTE contracts, are up in the 8 to 9 million range. So that's pretty good. Dividend yield of 20%, which is insane. It does yield the highest, I think, out of any in the account. Maybe not ULTY, which we'll talk about in just a minute. But let's check these last couple of dividends. We had 42 cents. We had 42 cents. We had 43 cents. And now we've had 41 cents. So very solid. Can't complain, except for the fact that the price keeps dropping. It is bouncing back up, so maybe we're at the end of the tunnel and we're going to be into the light soon. If it is, I mean, buying at these lows could make you some crazy good returns, but only time will tell. Not financial advice, of course. GPTY in a similar boat, really bouncing back nicely. We're only down 21.5%. And again, I'll remind you guys, I try to say this every video, but I forget. This is unrealized P&L, meaning we're not factoring in the dividends at all. And when I click on this and I show the dividend percentages or the dividend numbers down below, that's per one share, not per 100. The per 100 is going to be shown in the dividend tracking spreadsheet. So we can see it's a lower AUM as well, but not terrible, 20.5 million and a dividend yield of 8.66%. Lower yield than LFGY, but maybe a little bit better return. At least we've seen a little bit better return. 27 cents, 23.5 cents, 25.5 cents, and 24.7 cents. Pretty good dividends, pretty consistent. I do want to see this climb back out. Again, a lot of these launched at a bad time in the market, and so I do feel bad for YieldMax a little bit, but they do need to focus in. They need to make these a little more profitable. We're paying quite a bit in expense fees for these, so I really want it to work well. I want you to get what my money is worth, in my opinion. So We'll see. We'll see. Let's jump into our new fan favorite from YieldMax, ticker ULTY. It is coming down a little bit, but not too bad. We can see that it's down 6.32%. We have 17 shares now, which is absolutely insane. We bought 16 originally, and in just a couple weeks, we purchased an entirely new share. One, because it's very cheap, and two, because the yield is really, really high. So it's not the prettiest chart. It really isn't. From $17 down to $5.90. But since shifting to weekly, it's not doing as bad, which I do like to see. AUM is 222 million, and the dividend yield is roughly 90%. Moomoo has it higher based off the last dividend, but that's where it sits a little bit with consistency, I should say. Last couple of dividends, we have 9 cents, 8 cents, 8.5 cents, and we had about 8.36 cents. So not great. I don't want to see the dividend continue to fall, but it's still a really high dividend for what you're paying for, right? Because we are only paying $5.92 per share, and you're getting a lot in dividends for that amount. The cool thing as well is when you're looking at the drip, you are able to buy an extra share very, very soon. I mean, we bought these March 11. So again, it's been a month and a half, and I've already bought a full share extra, literally from just holding it, which is pretty crazy to me. I want to know what you guys think. Are you guys buying ULTY? In the meantime, when you're thinking about that and typing your comment down below, let's check out the two fan favorites from YieldMax, YMAG and YMAX. We'll start with YMAG. Down 22%, and we're not seeing a lot of bounce back from these from last week, which is a little bit disappointing. The nice thing, though, is we're seeing an insane amount of dollar cost averaging, or DCA, which I love to see. The bounce back hasn't been as prominent with this. We can also see AUM of just under 300 million. So it's even smaller than XDTE, which is really interesting because I thought people would like this one more. Also, there is a new weekly pair by RoundHill called MAGY, which is actually going to be on their Magnificent 7 ETF, not on the 7 individual stocks themselves. Very different, and I'm curious, it has the same fees. I'm curious how it performs compared to YMAG. It might be one I have to put some money into if it can outperform YMAG. We have a dividend yield of about 50%, and these have been trading for roughly a year or a little bit over, so we know that it is a pretty accurate yield. Not terrible. Let's look at the dividends. So we can see we had 10 cents in dividends. We had 10 cents again. Then we had 9.5 cents. And now we have 9.24 cents. Slowly falling down. I hope that trend doesn't continue. If it does, I might have to be out of YMAG, which I wouldn't like to do in my Roth because I do like the weekly income. So let's jump into YMAX and see if it can make up for the YieldMax losses we've seen from some of these other ETFs. It might sound a little bit funny. It's allergy season now, and something's wrong with me. I don't know. There's a lot of things wrong with me, but something new wrong with me, I should say. So we can see we are down 22.8 cents. See what I mean? 22.8% on YMAX. Not great. The chart's looking a little better. It's bounced back better than YMAG, and the AUM has rocketed back up to $710 million. The dividend yield, 63.24%. Pretty high. Definitely pretty high. Although there's not a lot of buying, which surprises me. We've seen the last couple of dividends. We had 18 cents per share, and then we had 13, and then we had 13.3, and the last one was 13.7. So not bad. The dividends are coming back up a little bit, and overall volatility in the market seems to be staying high because a lot of these are kicking out some really large dividends, which we're going to check in our dividend tracking spreadsheet right now. There are so many of these, I'm struggling to even fit all of them on the page now. So this week, again, this is per roughly $100 invested in each, not per share. So per $100, IWMY paid out $1.01. QQQY paid out 89 cents, and WDTE paid out 70 cents. All of these very solid weeks, and one of the best weeks we've seen from IWMY in a very, very long time. And I mean that all the way back to week 5, which was November. That's how long I've been doing these videos. Holy smokes. I need to get a better hobby, I guess. I don't know. QQQY, pretty solid. WDTE, very solid. Love to see it. Next, we have QDTE with 72 cents. Really good. Not all-time highs, but good. XDTE with a phenomenal $1.03. By far the highest that we've seen, but remember, we did buy an extra share mid-March. So going all the way back to December, it did pay out more then. But there were a couple weeks in December where everything was just pushing out money. Probably because of tax season. I don't even know. Something like that. To end of the year, total taxes. Who knows? Then we have RDTE with 93 cents. We have YMAG with 56 cents. YMAX with 85 cents. These ones have been coming down quite a bit. YMAG used to pay in the $1 range quite often. And with DRIP, these are supposed to be getting bigger and bigger. I did hear through the grapevine, I think in a comment or two, that they are restructuring how they are doing the dividends from YMAG and YMAX to try and counteract the NAV erosion, which I would love. And if these are the new dividends they're going to be paying out, it's not terrible. I could definitely live with it. YBTC, 89 cents, really solid. LFGY, 82 cents. The lowest that we've seen, which is not good. Like I said in previous videos, I really don't want this to just keep dropping. I want it to be consistent, and it seems to just keep dropping. If the next dividend's in the 70s, I'm going to be very upset. Mark my words. GPTY, 49 cents. Again, another case of slowly dropping, but let's hope it can hold up a little bit better. SDTY, 60 cents. Good. Very solid. ULTY, $1.40. Bouncing back up, which I love to see. And WEEK, another 8 cents. So, how much money do we make this week? Slide all over. $10.97. One of the best weeks we've had yet. Next week should be even more with the new payouts coming from our four new weekly dividend ETFs. Oh my gosh, I need more money. I need more money fast to buy all these because they just keep pumping them out. I don't even know what to do. But if we do have some shift back to monthly, I will pull that money from there and invest it in these instead. So maybe it'll work. Maybe it's a good thing. So we're going to check out our positions and see what's made us money and what has lost us money. Our dashboard tab is showing us that it hasn't been the best month so far. We had more dividends in March than in April. And because we won't get another dividend payment in time for this month, looks like we're still sitting at $41 in income, which again is phenomenal from an account that has what, $1,400 invested originally, now closer to $1,700. But no complaints. No complaints. When we go into our positions tab, everything's looking good. We're going to slide over. We can see actually that a lot of these are near the all-time highs, mostly just weak. I guess I shouldn't say near. Most of them are near all-time lows, but they are climbing back up because a couple weeks ago, this was like a straight line down and it all looked terrible. So what's made us money? What's lost us money overall? Now, I will say for some reason, RDTY's price is not calculating correctly. We are positive on this one, which is great. I've only owned it for like an hour and a half now, so pretty good return. I should probably day trade. What do you guys think? Should I start a day trading channel? I don't think you can really make money consistently day trading. I know people can do it. I'm not one of those people. Anyways, before I get sidetracked, we can see IWMY is down 7.5%, QQQY down 7.9%, and WDTE down only 3.63%. Not a great couple weeks for WDTE, I will say. It was in the green a couple weeks ago. Then we have QDTE down only 6.8% and XDTE down 7.25%. A lot of these are coming back up. With the market going a little bit greener every day, the dividends being solid, we are seeing some progress. Now we see RDTE down 10.7%, one of the best points we've seen for a while for RDTE. It was down well into the 18s at one point. 2% only for YMAG, down 2.11%. Then we have YMAX, which is positive 1.89%. And check this out. YBTC, positive 1.85%. We get into some of the worst performers. LFGY down 17%, GPTY down 14.5%, and SDTY down 13.1%. Then we have ULTY, our best performer so far, up 2.88%. I know a lot of people are saying they don't believe this one can continue, and I don't know how I feel about it, to be honest, but it's doing pretty well. Then we have WEEK up 5%. And again, RDTE is actually positive by about 1.4%, and QDTY is flat even. So let's slide over and see what has paid us the most in dividends. Wow, some of these numbers are getting insane. Largest, of course, still is YMAX, holding its position by quite a bit. Then we have IWMY that has passed YMAG. That's crazy. 24.91 from IWMY. YMAG 23.82, and then we get into a lot of the 20s. Pretty decent RDTE and QQQY pay out quite a bit. Same thing with QDTE, and all the way down, ULTY has been paying out an insane amount. It's at 10.41. We've only had it for, what did I even say, a month and a half, which is insane. YBTC also pays out a ton. It's slowly gaining on the rest of these with a higher yield, which I do like to see. And LFGY right behind it, same thing. Although the performance is worse, which is, again, a massive factor. Because even if you want to make a ton of money in dividends right away, if your NAV is eroding, that hurts the bottom line. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video breakdown on all the weekly paying dividend ETFs. It's been so fun. We're week 29, absolutely insane. If you're interested in following this profile as well as a bunch of my other challenges where I buy all these stocks and track their progress, follow me on Blossom. That'll be linked down below and in the pinned comment where you can see all of it. It's a free download app. You don't have to pay a single thing, and it enables you to just track what everything's doing. So if you miss an update video, if I miss posting an update video, you can still find it. just for your guys' information. It's a really cool app and I really like it. And I'd like to grow on there too. Would be cool. Of course, I appreciate all you guys, what you do for me. It's phenomenal. Commenting, liking, boost the videos, helps me so much. We're climbing on 12,000 subscribers, which is insane to say. And it's all because of you guys. You guys are absolutely phenomenal. If you enjoyed this video, chances are you're going to like these popping up on your screen right now, including that newest video on MAGY, the newest weekly paying dividend ETF. So give that one a glance and let me know what you think. Hope to see you in the next video.